Hey y'all, you are tuned in to Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast. This is your host, Lorraine Renee, also known as the Blog Queen. I thank you guys for spending this time with me. Thank you for tuning in. Before we go any further, you guys know the routine. I need you to share this episode, share it on any of your platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Send it to someone that you think might enjoy listening. And I need you guys to drop a review. If you haven't done so on Apple Podcasts, what you waiting on? Like, go over there and drop a review. As a podcaster, as a blogger, these are the things that we need. This is the support that we need. We need your comments, we need your engagement, we need your reviews. It means a lot. So even outside of me, if you support any other podcasters or bloggers, TikTokers, like whatever it is, support them just by commenting and engaging in their content. That's it. That's all we need. All right. And so we are going to take a very short break. We're going to get into this intro and we're going to come back and do a blog breakdown. Stay tuned.
Let's do this.
It's showtime.
You're listening to the Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast.
These are just my thoughts.
With your host, Lorraine Renee.
A woman, her thoughts, and a mic.
Are you ready? Check this out.
I came up with a list, right? And I was just going with it. I came up with a list of just different things that have stood out to me, things that mean something to me personally, things that I've, just kind of maybe sat back and watched or observed and just random things that I feel like are life lessons that I hope at this point in life, if you're listening to this, you are at least over the age of 18, I hope. And so there's going to be a time, if you haven't experienced it yet, I promise you at some point in your life, you are going to come across the majority of these things on the list. And so I want you guys to see the value in these things, right? I think that as we phase through like each decade, when you're a teenager and then you hit your 20s and then you hit your 30s and hit your 40s and going on and on, we have to make choices, right? And then sometimes we don't know what choice to make. We don't know, and we don't even know if it's the right choice to make. We just got to make it, and then we got to see what happens, and then there we are. And then when like I said, when it comes out to, it doesn't turn out the way that we wanted it to, then we're kind of in this sunken place, like we're like, what do I do now? Like, okay, wasn't expecting that. And then we want to, kind of just be feeling low and just not, just like, damn, like, what do I do now? But like, no, that's what we're not going to do. We're going to try to change the narrative on that, right? And I'm going to tell you guys how to do that. But we're going to try to change the narrative on that. And we're going to understand that, listen, the outcome was what it was, but the big outcome of it, you do have control over that, right? Because you're going to control how you're going to take this L if it was the L. You're going to learn how to control how to take this change if it was a change. You are going to learn how to handle this breakup. You are going to learn how to handle this job change, just whatever it is. You're going to learn how to take whatever that situation is, and you're going to look at it a little bit differently, and you're going to be able to save yourself from a lot of bullshit stress that you put on yourself because of these things. And I want to say this, and I want to make sure that I'm making it clear, because I'm not saying that you can't be at the end of the day, we're all human, right? So we have emotions. You're going to feel a certain type of way. You are. But don't stay there in that space. Don't stay there in that space, because you don't have to. And like I said, what I want you guys to start learning how to do is change the narrative and look at things a little bit differently. So start asking yourself, when a situation comes up, whatever it may be, apply this however you need to apply it in your life, right? But when a situation comes up, what can you do? Could I maybe look at the situation as more of a lesson to teach me what not to do next time? Like, okay, I did this, so I know that this doesn't work, right? So I'm not going to do that again. Could I use this experience to show me what certain people are capable of? Like, listen, you thought this person was going to be there and they were not. And this is the second time it has happened. So understand, this person you cannot count on. And next time, when you are in a bind or you need something and you need support in something, this is not going to be your go-to person, right? Could I use this experience to allow me to see the bigger picture and understand that this right here, like, this wasn't supposed to happen at this point in my life? I've referenced this before a couple times in a couple of different blogs podcast episodes that I've done, where I talked about the process of me buying my house and how I had to learn the lesson. And I was so disappointed that the first couple of houses that I tried to get, they fell through. And at the time, I was so frustrated and I was so depressed about it. But then I realized, as time went by, I realized why each of those houses, I actually witnessed and seen exactly why those houses weren't for me. And it wasn't until I actually got my house and everything went smoothly where I realized it wasn't time for me at that point. It was time for me when it was time for me. And so that's another way to look at certain situations, is just understand that timing is everything. And that's one of the life lessons that I'm actually going to talk about. But could I look at this as like an insight in how I need to handle my personal emotions? Because listen, we are reactive people, right? We're reactive people, and so we will react in a way that we don't need to react. And so maybe that is something that you need to take note of and that you need to be mindful of, and maybe change that up. Can I step outside of this situation and can I see that maybe I could have did some shit a little differently? Like, okay, like, first of all, this, and this, this was never going to be, that wasn't going to work. And I see that now. I see that now, and I see why. Right? We have to mature, and we have to look at things differently, because if we sit there and we get disappointed at every little thing that doesn't go our way, or what we expected, or just whatever the case may be, we're going to be disappointed a lot. I'm going to tell you, we're going to be disappointed a lot. So once you begin to condition yourself to start trying to find a more positive way of thinking, despite whatever the circumstances are, this is when you know that you have leveled up and you're growing, right? Because you're handling things a little differently. And that is what this whole thing is about. That's what the life journey that you're on is about. Realizing those moments and leveling up, taking those moments and okay, I could be better at this. I could be a better person at this. I could do things differently. I don't always have to react this way. They tell us to pick and choose our battles, right? They tell us that all the time. And that's something that I am trying to actively, for myself, understand that I don't have to fight every battle. I don't have to fight every battle. I don't have to win every battle, right? So regardless of the timing, regardless of the way you thought things should have been, and regardless of the circumstances that are now presented to you, the way things are right now, always, always, always choose to find the lesson in it, right? So let's get into it. I'm not going to go through all 50 of these things, obviously. I'm just going to go through the list, and I'm going to pull out some things, and I'm going to break down a couple of these things as I was thinking about them and just kind of what they mean to me. And I hope that they resonate with you to some level, right? So the first one that I wanted to get into, this is one that I learned a few years back, and it's a very valuable lesson. Never allow money or financial gain to always be your motivation to make a decision. Listen, money is good. Money is great. Money is always needed. I get it. Listen, I get it. Being a single mother for so long, having to do things on my own, I was in a position and a point in my life where I was just going to wherever more money was going to be made, that was the direction that I was going to go in, period, right? But listen, then I realized as I started getting a little bit older, and when I changed up my career field and I got into the position that I was in at first, I realized, right, that I don't know if it's everything that I need for it to be at the time, right? But then when I got the opportunity to do something different, I could have been in a position where I could have stayed where I was at and potentially made more money but was that going to bring me peace? Was I really going to be happy if I stayed in that position, knowing that I was so unhappy, knowing that I didn't always feel appreciated in that particular role, knowing that I was not going to reach the full potential there, regardless of what, the money per hour was. Was I really going to be happy in that role anymore? And the answer to that was no. I wasn't going to be happy in that role. And I had to change things up for myself at that time. And I had to realize that, okay, even though I could stay and go here, I don't really want to do that, because at the end of the day, I'm going to still be stressed out. At the end of the day, I'm going to still feel overworked. At the end of the day, I'm not going to be fulfilled. And at the end of the day, this is not going to lead me to the path that I ultimately want to go anyway. So why am I going to do it? So the way that I have to look at things is I can take another route, and I can be comfortable in a particular position, and I can grow from that point. But I don't have to stay where I'm not finding the peace, right? So don't always allow money or financial gain to always be your motivation, because at the end of the day, it's yeah, you get a little bit more money in your pocket, but how you sleeping at night, sis? How are you feeling when you clock out? How are you feeling when you get up in the morning? Do you dread going to work? Are you is it always like that? And now where I'm at now, the career that I'm in now, it's like I love what I do. I love what I do, and and I've gotten the opportunity. The money came, you know what I mean? But I love what I do. I have more peace. I sleep better. I don't go to sleep thinking about, the job. It's not on my mind 24/7. And so I knew that I had made a big girl decision when I, could have stayed at a different job, and I could have earned some money, a little bit more money at that time at that job. And I turned that down, and I found my own way, and I moved into something a little differently, and I had to, crawl before I walked, obviously, but I got to where I need to be, and I'm not stopped there. The potential and the possibilities are endless for where I can go, and I'm happy about that. So that is an important one, and I wanted to start off with that one because I know that especially when you're in a situation like you're a single mom, and you have to support yourself, you have to support your kids and your household and stuff, and it's just kind of like your focus is just like, where can I get the most money? That's the way that I'm going, but we can't always do that, and especially as we get older, that becomes a little bit more important. So never allow the financial gain to always be the motivation as to why you do a certain thing, right? All right, so moving along. Drama that comes into your life. Let's talk about the drama that comes into your life. Listen, one of three things happened. You either created it, you invited it in your life, or you somehow are associated with the drama. One of the three. Because if drama is coming into your life, why is it in your life? What position are you putting yourself in to be in some drama? Who are you associating yourself with that has drama, that now you are part of the whole problem and the whole situation, you in the middle, people calling your phone or showing up at your house unannounced, or just whatever the case may be. Which role did you play in it? So again, you either created it, you are the drama, as they say on TikTok, am I the drama? You're the drama. You invited it in, which means you put yourself into a certain position. So like if you're dealing with somebody's man and he has a girl, you invited that drama into your life, right? Or you're associated with, same thing. If you have friends who are always into something, right? Friends where they got to call you and they got, listen, I need you to do this, that, and the third. Or I need you to ride with me here because I'm getting ready to go fuck this new car up or whatever. And and the next thing you know, you trying to call your mom and your auntie because you need to be bailed out. Because you done got, you being held by the police because you trying to run and be the ride or die homegirl. And you put yourself in the midst of something that you didn't have to be in. You associated with the drama, and you know that one homegirl, that's not the one that you need to be riding out with. You know your circle. Know your circle. Know your circle. You know who. Know your circle. Created it, invited it in, or associated with. One of the three. Figure it out, and then don't do that anymore. And then understand that something has to change. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. You have to grow. Grow the F up. Right? I think that's enough on that. Moving right along. Love. Let's talk about love a little bit. Love is an action word. That's it. That's the lesson. Love is an action word. People can tell you all the time, I love you. People can say how much they need you. People can say that they can't be without you, but anybody can say anything to anybody at any point. But what is the action behind those words? What are they doing? What are they showing you? Because if they're saying one thing, but the actions, the math ain't mathing, right? The math ain't mathing on these actions. You have to, listen, love is an action word. People have to show you. If they want to be in your life, they have to show you. Show you. Show me that you can't live without me. Show me that I'm all you want. Show me that I mean the world to you. Show me. Love is an action word. Simple as that. Right? I mean, what more can we say about that? Action. And I mean, that's I mean, I don't know. I feel like that can even be applied to just more than, when we're talking about love, but just like, with friendships, if people say that they support you, like, it'll show. They can show you, they can tell you all day long that they support you, but it will show in their actions, or on the contrary, their lack of action. But I'm gonna leave that right there. Moving right along. The success rate of karma is highly probable. So put into the world what you wish to receive back. Let me say that again for the people who didn't hear that part. The success rate of karma is highly probable. So put into the world what you wish to receive back. Karma is a bitch. What goes around comes around. Put out there the energy that you want back. Listen, I want good energy. I want to be in God's good grace. I'm telling you, I want to make it to them pearly gates. I don't want to be anywhere else. And I want to make sure that I'm trying to be the best person that I can be. I'm not perfect by any means, but I want to be the best version of myself that I can be. And I want to make sure that I am trying to put out there, and I'm trying to be a small blessing at different periods of my life, just random blessings when I can, because I want good shit to come back to me. I want to be kind to people because I want people to be kind to me. I want to help people with certain things because I want people to help me if I need that help. Now, well, I'm not even going to get into that part of it, but yeah, put out there what you guys want to come back, and that's just as simple as that. If you don't, if you don't want bad luck and negativity, and you don't want to be like on rock bottom and not have anybody to lend you a hand, like, listen, be kind to people. It doesn't cost you anything to be kind to people, right? It doesn't. Moving right along. Which one do we want to do? Okay, so sometimes the path you approach is not your path, and another route may be more fitting for you. So listen, we're kind of in this whole like social media generation right now. We're seeing everything on the internet. We're seeing what people are doing. We're looking at what's happening. We're looking at what the end thing is to do. We're looking at what's popular. We're looking at, we're looking, and we're just, faced with things, and sometimes we just want to do things because we think that's what we need to do, because we see other people doing it. That might not be your ministry, sis. That might not be for you. Listen, it's like everybody can't do hair. Some of us, like me, I see that there is money to be made in braiding, and I'm quite sure that I could probably learn. I could get on YouTube and I can go learn how to do some box braids, and then I can start charging, and I can start doing some box braids. But that ain't for me. Hair ain't for me. It just ain't for me. I don't have that type of patience. I barely want to sit down to get my hair done. So that's not my path. That's not my path. I'm not even going to test the system. That's not for me. Find out what you are good at. Find out what you want to do. Find out what you're passionate about. Find out what makes you happy. Find out what you're going to excel at, and go down that path. Everybody's not a podcaster. Everybody's not a writer. Everybody's not a singer. Everybody's not an actor. That's not everybody's path. But listen, the key is to figure it out. You may have to dibble and dabble. You may have to, test things out and see where things lie, and that's fine. But just don't try to force it, and understand that whatever it is, whatever path that you are faced with, whatever way that you need to go, be passionate about that. Do it because it's something that you don't even think of as like work. Like let's talk about work. Do something that you know that you can just you can kill it. You can kill it and figure out what actions you need to take to do that. Right? I'm not going to stay on that one too much longer because I could go on and on about that one, but we're going to move on. All right, here's a good one. Boundaries. Boundaries are a form of self-care. And there's also another one that ties into that. And it says that don't remove the boundary from your life, remove the people that cross them. So those two go hand in hand. Boundaries are a form of self-care, and don't remove the boundary from your life, remove the people that cross them. Listen, boundaries. We all have boundaries. There are things that we just do not need to accept in our life. There are things that we have to realize are not going to be accepted, and we need to be okay with that. We need to be okay with that, because if you are constantly allowing people to cross your boundaries and you're not doing anything about it, do you understand how that is going to have a mental effect on you? Do you understand how you are setting a bar very low when you allow people to cross your boundaries? And if someone continues to cross those boundaries, then it's not that the boundary is wrong, it's that person is wrong. And it's not that you need to change that boundary or remove that boundary from your life or your standards. It's you need to remove those people from your life. Remove you out of their life. However it needs to go. You go this way, I'm going that way, because you're crossing my boundaries and you got me stressed out. And quite frankly, you got me a little bit fucked up if you think that I'm going to continue to allow you to do that. So you got to put a stop to it while you can. Right? So like I said, those two go hand in hand. Boundaries, that's self-care. Listen. Which brings me to another one, which saying no sometimes is okay. Is that how let me see. Saying no is okay. I think that's how it went. I don't know. How did I put it on the blog? However I put it on the blog, saying no, it's okay to say no. Sometimes you have to say no. That's another boundary. That's another boundary that you have to have. Don't feel bad about it. It's not a selfish thing sometimes to put your self-care first. And I'm looking at the blog. That's why it kind of, my focus is a little bit. I'm reading through this blog as I'm talking to y'all. So bear with me, y'all. But yeah, saying no is what it is. Saying no is a form of self-care, just like boundaries are. And sometimes you have to do that. Speaking of, the last blog that I dropped for Thoughts of a Blog Queen was in November, and it was the power of saying no in November. So if you haven't checked that out, I'm going to put that link in the show notes as well. Check that one out, because that was a good one to kind of give you a little bit of, I guess, I don't want to say clarity, but just, it helps you to see that saying no is okay. Some people have a hard time with that, and that's understandable, because you, like I said, you want to be kind to people, and you want to help people out, but also don't be taken advantage of, and understand where the boundary is. I said yes a couple of times, but this time I can't do it. Right? This time I cannot do it. All right? So moving along. Listen, sometimes what people think about you is none of your business. Listen, I'm going to keep this real short, because this is another one that could go on and on and on. Sometimes what people think about you is none of your business. People are going to think about you no matter what. Listen, whatever, they're going to think what they want to think. They're going to think what they want to think. So why am I going to just, I can't, I know who I am, right? I know who I am. You know who you are. Right, sis? You know who you are, and I know who I am, and I know my truth. You know your truth. What the next person is going to think about you is not any of your business. You have to carry on. You can't allow what other people think to be a barrier to what it is that you're trying to get done. Like, as a content creator, a blogger, a podcaster, especially with podcasting, you know, I have to be open to sometimes being very transparent. I have to be open to sometimes having no filter. I have to be open to just speaking my mind. That's what my platform and my blog is about. I have a voice and I'm using it to share my voice. And so I can't really be concerned about a person that doesn't support me, that doesn't like me, that doesn't think that what I'm doing is going anywhere, that doesn't find the point in it, like, if they don't understand it, that's okay. I understand it. I know where all of this is going. I know what all of this means. And so, like, for anyone that is listening that is kind of in that place where you feel like you want to do certain things, but you are afraid of what people are going to think of it, listen, if you do that, you will never really truly make the moves that you need to make in life. If you're worried about what we're really going to think about you. Yes, I want supportive people, and obviously in this type of field, like in podcasting and content creation, obviously I need people to support it and I need people to like, but I need the genuine people. I want the genuine support, the genuine love. I don't need any of the fake shit. I don't need any of the people that don't rock with it. I don't care. You can scroll by. I don't care. I'm only interested in gaining the attention of the people that I need the attention of. I know where I want to go with this, and I know that I need to be focused there. Which is directly connected to another one that's on this list. Focus more on who's clapping for you than who's not. And that takes us back. I don't know if we talked about, certain friends. I don't think we talked about that just yet. But, like, focus on the people that are supporting you. Because we will think about other people, and we'll think about friends, or we'll think about associates, or we'll think about people on our social media page, and we're like, dang, this person, none of my friends are sharing my shit, or none of my, they're not liking it, they're not saying, they're not commenting, they're not telling me, like, that they need, that it was good, they're not giving me no feedback on it. Like, we will stay there. We will stay stuck on that and be thinking about that, and we will be so quick to be like, tell some, this person, I ain't hear nothing from this person, nobody said, like, we'll be focused on that. But listen, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Focus on the people that are supporting you. Focus on the people that are sharing your things. Those are the people, like, focus on the people and give, gratitude to the people that do. And if it happens to be no one in your personal life, then that's okay too. That's not your audience. Those aren't your clients. Those aren't your customers. Those are not going to be the people that you need to be dependent on to help you get to your next level. The people that you need to be worried about are strangers, likely. The people that you need to worry about are the people that you're going to network with on social media. Those are the people that you're going to have to worry, that you should be focused on. Don't focus on the people that are in your life that are not doing anything to help you get to a next level, that are not doing anything to be positive towards what you're doing. Do not worry about it. And as hard as it is to not take it personal, try not to. And I say that, and I listen, no judgment here, because I definitely have taken some shit personal. But then I grew up, and I realized I can't stay stuck on that. And quite frankly, I don't want to have to beg someone to support me. I don't want to have to beg someone to share my shit. I don't want to have to beg someone. Like, I don't want to have to try to force someone. I don't want to guilt trip you into being supportive of me. I want you to do it because you wanted to do it. I want you to do it on your own. Like, I want to know that it was genuine. So if I got to guilt trip you into supporting me, it's okay. It's cool. It's cool. I'm not even going to worry about that. So listen, let that go. Let that go. Moving right along. So self-realization is a sign of growth. Listen, this is a good one. When you begin to identify the areas that your ass needs to grow the F up, that is a sign of growth. Self-realization, when you realize you have a toxic behavior in your relationship that is not helping the situation at all, or when you realize that, you always react a certain way when put in a certain situation, and you know that that's not really a womanly reaction, that accountability needs to kick in, and you need to understand that the sooner you can realize how you are self-sabotaging, or you realize how you are doing things that are really reckless, and you start handling those things a little bit differently, making better decisions for yourself, that is a sign of growth. Listen, I have a lot on this list. I really want you guys to check this blog out. I have over 50 things, 50 to somewhere between 50 and 60 different lessons that I put into this blog that I really think that you guys should really find some value in. And I just really want us to be able to look at things and really find how we can try to put a more of a positive spin on it, right? Find out how we can just pick out like immediately pick out what I was supposed to learn, to where you're just great at it. Of course, things are going to disappoint you. I get that. But certain things, I just want you to be able to really get into a position of understanding this worked out this way because of this, and next time I should do this. And when next time comes up, do this and see what happens then. Process of elimination. What works, what does not work, until eventually you will get it right. I promise you, you will. So listen, before I end this particular episode, y'all check out the blog. Again, it will be in the show notes. Check that out and go through that list and really think about those things. I posed a question on this particular topic, just about lessons. I posted a question on Facebook, and shout out to all of the people that actually, engaged and gave me some feedback on the question that I asked. So the question that I asked was, if this current year has taught you at least one valuable lesson, what was it? And so if you're following me on Instagram on the Thoughts of a Black Queen podcast page, there's a post on there where I actually had a lot of the responses. I put them on the page because I thought that I got some really good life lessons that people put in there, and I wanted to share some of these messages on my platform, and I wanted to shout a few of them out on the show. So shout out to everybody that was on the page today. I posted about it today. Shout out to my sister. She commented. A girlfriend of mine, Kiara, she gave a great lesson. Alexis, my mom, dropped a great life lesson. But I wanted to shout out a couple of people, and I wanted to read some of these comments. So Kiara, she actually is Hair by Kiara on Instagram. Follow her, check her out. She's a beast with the braids. She's a beast with it. So shout out to her. But her lesson that she learned, she said, this year has taught me to just do it. You can never succeed if you don't try. Of course, be smart, do your research, but then just do it. That is that spoke to me, because I will be so busy trying to overthink. And I think overthinking is on my list as well. But I will be so busy trying to overthink things, and I will let the fear set me back. And I will procrastinate a lot because I don't know what the outcome is going to be. And so I will let it stop me from doing, particular things. And I can't really I got to get out of doing that. So I thought that was a great one. Another one that I thought was good, Marquita Gleaton. She's an old, like, childhood friend of mine. She said, this year taught me that tomorrow is never promised. Also, God grants short-term spaces for long-term blessings. That right there really, really spoke to me. God grants short-term spaces for long-term blessings. And that just ties into learning the lesson. Realize at the time, just realize that at the time, it may not have been what you thought it was going to be. It may not have been all you thought it was going to be. But just listen, the future is bright. If you can just hold on and have faith in that, you will see why it was delayed, why it was denied, why it turned out that way, if you just hold on to that. So shout out to Marquita for that one. This next one really made me proud. It's my niece, my oldest niece, Deja Chantry. Shout out to her. Her lesson was, this year has taught me that tomorrow isn't promised. So live life today. Also, this was a good part. Leave those who aren't willing to help you mentally succeed. Then don't have those people around you. Let me read. I think I jacked that up. Let me read it correctly. Leave those who aren't willing to help you mentally succeed. And you don't have to be around those people that could be a distraction. So basically, listen, support is also mental. It's not just about you buying my stuff. Support is mental. How are you uplifting me? How are you uplifting me? Leave those who aren't willing to help you mentally succeed. I love that. I love that. So shout out to my niece, Deja. Here's another good one. Alexis Martin. Shout out to her. And she's someone who's always been really supportive of just everything that I've been trying to do. So shout out to Alexis. Her lesson was, this year taught me to be unapologetically me. Never conform to make others comfortable. You will only end up making yourself unhappy. My happiness matters more than others' opinions. Right? So that just kind of ties into what I was just talking about, where it's like, you can't worry about what other people think of you. You can't worry about that. Because if you do that, you're going to drain. That's draining. You're going to drain yourself. She also says, I also learned to stop second guessing myself. Stop sleeping on your potential, sis. Stop sleeping on your potential. It will either end up a blessing or what? A lesson. Either way, I'll be fine. That right there was super. I mean, that nailed it. Shout out to Alexis. Another one, Shakina Major. Shout out to her. She's an old friend of mine, old friend, co-worker. She gave some great little gems. Her lesson was this: life has taught me so many things, but most of all, I've learned forgiving someone is for you. That was on my list as well. It's okay to pour into me and love on me regardless of who doesn't like it. That's self-love. My peace is important and protected at all costs. Vulnerability is not a bad thing. It's okay to let others help me. That right there resonated with me personally, because pride. There are prideful women, and a lot of prideful women are single mothers. And I know that, like, we get into this, like, we don't want to ask for help. I have a strong, like, I don't like to ask people for help because I feel like I don't want to be a burden on people. I feel like I don't want people to throw things back in my face. So I feel like I want to, let me try to figure out myself. Let me just try to figure it out myself. And asking someone will be the last thing that I do. So yeah, shout out to Shakina. And the last person that I want to shout out with, this was a very simple one. This one was from my brother. His lesson was very simple. Life goes on. Life goes on. So at the end of the day, when we sum it all up and we're going through all of these lessons that we have to learn and how we need to look at it and what happened and what didn't happen and what the outcome was and what it is, at the end of the day, life is going to go on. It's not stopping for me. It's not stopping for you. It's not stopping for him. And it's not stopping for her. Life is going to go on at the end of the day. So the clock will not stop ticking. Time is not going to wait for us. We have to do something immediately. When I say immediately, I just mean like you can't waste your time being stuck in certain places in your mind. And it's just like life is going to go on. Either it was or it wasn't. It hurt now, but listen, when you heal, you're gonna get out of it and you're gonna realize why, and you're gonna be better off. You have to give it time. But life is going to go on. Ultimately, your happiness is this is the last lesson that's on the list, but there are so many others that I didn't even mention that I want you guys to go check out. I'm not going to give them all away here. I want you guys to go visit the blog, but the last one on the list was an important one for me. It says, ultimately, your happiness is your responsibility. Anything is your responsibility, and anything anyone else provides is just a bonus. So you got to be happy with yourself before you can expect anybody else to make you happy. You gotta love yourself before you can expect anybody else to love you. That comes from within. Because if you don't even love yourself, you are going to allow any type of shit into your life. You're going to allow people to treat you any kind of way. You are going to allow them to just walk all over you. And you're going to, if you're dependent upon other people to provide you that happiness, listen, what happens if they come up short? Then what? They come up short, then what? Oh, it's okay. That was just a bonus. I'm already happy. I'm already good. I'm good over here. That was a bonus. That was a bonus and you didn't provide it to me, but it's okay because I love myself enough to know that you are not going to be able to give me what I need. Right? Listen, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and cut this short. Because I'm already over the 45 minutes that I tried to give myself. And I did pretty good. I'm not too far over 45 minutes, but I want you guys to head over to the blog, visit it, let me know what you think. Again, I always appreciate the comments, the reviews, the shares, all of that. I appreciate you for tuning in right now. I am grateful that you spent this time with me. You didn't have to listen to this today. This time that you're taking to listen to me right now, you didn't have to do that. There are a million other podcasts that you could be listening to right now, but you pressed play on this one, and for that, I'm appreciative. I'm grateful for that. So, you guys know, follow me, Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast on Instagram. My blog page is Sharing Pink Promos blog on Instagram. The website, sharingpinkpromos.com. My merch website, passiontees.com. All of that good stuff is going to be in the show notes. Yeah, that's it, you guys. I really hope that you guys will listen to this and something you had at least a, got it. You had an aha moment. You had a, oh, okay. You had a, yup, true. I hope that you got one of those moments while you were listening, and I hope that when you go and you head over to the blog and you read it, I hope that something on that list, that long list that I provided, I hope that there's something on there that will click for you. I hope that there's some sort of value in any of this information that this time that we've shared. I hope that you gain something from it. That's the point of it. So follow, share, like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, y'all, until next time, peace and blessings.
Let's do this.
It's showtime.
You're listening to the Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast
These are just my thoughts.
with your host, LaRae Renee.
A woman, her thoughts, and a mic.
Are you ready? Check this out.